Hi, it's Mark here for GAK, and I'm here with Luke Edwards from
Hello.
Korg. And today we are looking at the new Korg Prologue. So this is the first time I've seen this. Luke, tell us about it.
Okay, so this is our new flagship instrument on the analog side. So it follows in the footsteps of the monologue and the mini-log, and now this is the pinnacle of what we do analog-wise. So it's a great analog synth, full-size keys, 16 note, and it's also got this amazing new technology in it called a multi-engine, which basically can allow you to design your own waveforms and then import them in there. So it's a sound designer's dream.
So let's get this turned on, dive in and have a listen.
Let's do it. Okay, so this is the Prologue. There's two versions of this new model we've just launched. There's a Prologue 16, which is this one, which is 5 octaves. They're both full-size keys, and there's also the Prologue 8 as well, which is the same instrument, but slightly shorter with 4 octaves, 49 keys, and 8 notes instead of 16, which is the 8 and 16 references. The other difference between the two models is the fact that the 8 doesn't have this low frequency compressor on the right-hand side here, which gives you that really nice boost to the bottom end as well, and we've got a lovely UV meter built in. So just like the monologue and the mini log before it, we've got this great OLED display, so we can check out what's happening with our waveform and really get that visual feedback from when we're designing our sounds. But we've also got over here this new thing called a multi-engine. So as well as our 2 analog oscillators, we've got the ability to use noise or FM, VPN sounds. As well as that, on my left, I've got this great new feature called a multi-engine. So as well as our 2 analog oscillators, we've got the multi-engine, which allows us to create noise sounds, VPN and FM type sounds as well, and of course, design your own oscillators and then import them, and the 16 slots for user oscillators. So that's a sound designer's dream, as I said earlier. It's just incredible. So we'll dive into that in a minute. Let's check out some of the sounds. So you've got great kind of bass kind of synth sounds like this. And of course you've got all of your real-time controllers here, so you can dive in and change the sound as you need. Filter control, you've got real-time controllers over here with the pitch bend and mod wheels, so that's something we've slightly changed from the mini log. You didn't have the joystick. We've got 2 wheels now, which we can change on the fly. So going into the multi-engine, what is that? Well, it allows me to specify here whether I'm using a user oscillator, VPN or FM, or a noise. So with this patch, for instance, called Sparkle, we can check out some of the different oscillators. I can just flick through them and it'll tell me here on the screen what they are, whether they're like FM things like this or more regular modelled waveforms like sine waves and square waves. Okay, so what else we've got in here? Some great new kind of pad sounds. Some of the sounds, as I said, can be controlled by the mod wheel here, and this is programmable. So if you come to a patch you think, oh, actually I want to control the LFO with this or the filter, you can easily do that, and then the presets are usually mapped something to that already. So we've got this nice pad sound here. So what's nice about having the mod wheel is that you can actually feel your way through the sound and then just leave it at a fixed position, which is really useful and very musical when you're designing your sounds. You've got great kind of FM type sounds like this one. And you can hear there you've got effects built in as well. So you've got some nice delay and reverb and some mod effects as well. Another cool thing about the Prologue is the fact you've got different voice modes. So again, brought over from the Minilog. So you've got poly mode, which means you can play up to 16 notes. You've got mono mode, which can bring in a sub oscillator. You've got unison mode, which sums everything together to make it monophonic. And then by using the voice mode depth, you can detune it. And then we've got this sound here, which is a chord sound. So I can just play a single note, and it plays a chord for me. But of course I can then change that by using the voice mode depth, and it tells me here on the screen what chord I'm playing. So I can go from something as basic as a fifth to a minor chord to a suspended chord to something more complex. So it's a great way to explore sounds, and even if you don't even know what chord you're playing, it's a great experimentation in terms of harmony. Moving on, we've got an arpeggiator built in, so that's this section here. So at the moment, as you can see, it's on. If I want to, I can latch it by holding it down, which is really useful, or I can just turn it on and off. So now I'm going to play this pattern for you, which sounds like this. And as you can hear, the filter was assigned to the mod wheel there, so I can really, again, just sweep through really easily my sound. Now, the Prologue is bitimbral, so what that means is that you've actually got two sounds at your disposal. So these can be layered together, they can be split, and you can choose the split point, or you can even crossfade them, which is a really nice effect as well. So for instance, we've got an arpeggiated sound like you just heard, layered with a pad sound, which is really nice. So you can instantly create a lot more complex sounds and soundscapes than we could before, just by using this layering technique. Or of course you could have a split situation, so we could have a pad, and we could have a bass. You could also have, say, a pad and a lead sound. So, and you can actually adjust the balance between them with this control here, which is really useful. So for instance, here we've got a pad and a lead. But then I can adjust, because the lead's a little bit loud, just take it down a little bit. So you can get that real perfect balance between the two. Or you can just go for a kind of more playable kind of split where you've got a bass and then a paddy kind of FM stacked kind of sound on the right. nice kind of blend of the two, which makes it a great live instrument as well, because it gives you so many possibilities with these layers and splits. The effects in here are sensational as well. It's much higher level than you'd expect to find in a kind of hardware synth. So the reverbs, for example, are fantastic. You get all these kind of effects which kind of shimmer in and out, which are fantastic as well. Okay, so that is the Prologue. I'm just going to finish off with one last example of a split, just to show you that you can use the Arpeggiator on one part and not the other, or both, however you want to use it. So thanks for listening. I've been Luke Edwards from Korg. Go check this out.